on Friday, Nick pled guilty to felony drug possession.
Ooh.
So it's it'll be over in the month of April, which is very fitting. It'll be over when he's sentenced. I saw that people were like angry about this. Like they were really mad about it. And I'm like, guys, you know, and maybe it's because I'm from Minnesota, but I was like, guys, this is kind of what everyone thought this was going to be, or at least everyone I talked to about it. So first of all, he pled guilty to third-degree felony drug possession. Now, I thought he was going to get a better deal than that because it was going to be third degree anyway. The second degree was the weighing with the packaging. And I'm sure what the state told him was, look, if we go to trial, we have to reweigh this. And if we go to trial and we reweigh this, it could still be in the second degree ballpark, but it probably wouldn't because I think it was only over by 2 grams.
Okay.
And if you have packaging and stuff in there, I mean, that can come in 2 grams under, which would automatically kick it down to third degree. So Nick basically pled guilty to what it was. And then I saw people were, I think the word is seething about his guilty plea. And they were saying, oh, well, they dropped the misdemeanors. Well, that's the way the state works. They don't get, between you and me, they don't give a shit about the misdemeanors. If they've got a third degree felony and they don't have to go to trial and they can get someone to just cop to it, they're like, yeah, sure, we'll drop the misdemeanors.
We'll drop the misdemeanors because as much of a letting him go from a crime thing, it's also, again, they're not getting a whole lot out of that punishment and fees or anything else. And any one that they want.
Right. So and any sentence you run with those misdemeanors is going to run concurrent to the felony. So
he's already going to serve way more than that anyhow if he's like serving, if you will, or paying or whatever. So it's already over.
If I may quote, it's blue on black is what the misdemeanors are. So drop those out. It makes the guy think he's getting a deal. People are like, well, but you know, he had cocaine and guns in the house with kids, and his kid tested positive for cocaine, so his kid ingested cocaine. And it's like, yeah, but everyone already knows that. You know, that's going to stick with him forever. Did you really need that in writing? You know, everybody kind of knows what he did. This is horse trading. This is what you do to get, the state doesn't want to go to trial. So you threaten to go to trial, they give you a sweeter deal. That's just the way it works because they want to get this thing off the books. The other thing people were mad about was no prison time. It's like, bro, nobody goes to prison on their first felony drug offense. Like, you got to do something egregious. Like, you got to run somebody over and kill them while you're on drugs. And even then, you're going to jail for the running someone over and killing them, not for the drug possession. Right. So nobody goes to jail on their first drug offense unless you're distributing maybe. But they were mad about that. It's like, guys, all of that. I don't know what people wanted. Like, our whole system is designed towards giving people a second chance and giving them a chance to prove themselves. Basically what Nick got. And look, I know Nick still has this massive hate boner for me. I don't. I look at him as in my past. I got it all out. I'm good.
Let's be clear. It's not a hate or a love. It's just a boner, and apparently it's for you.
It's for me.
It sways between all the emotions.
It's all for me. But I don't really have any feeling towards it. It's like having feelings towards, I don't know, a dinner you had 8 years ago. Like, it's just not, it doesn't factor into the equation.
It's not affecting my life anymore. You know,
so,
it happened, it was a thing, and I've moved on.
So to me, he's getting pleading guilty to the third degree felony, drug possession. There's going to be a prison sentence, but it's going to be stayed. The adjudication is going to be stayed. He's going to have a period of probation. They're going to monitor him. Basically, what Nick's getting is a prove it deal. Prove you acknowledge you have a problem. Prove you're going to try to abstain from drugs and alcohol. Prove you can stop this behavior. And if you make good for a couple of years, we'll wipe it all clean. That's what everybody would get if they were in that situation. And you know what?
Oh, I thought you were saying if they were. All right, what?
Well, I think the whiteness does, you know, that plays a part. But, like, honestly, I know a lot of people were out for blood. I know a lot of people wanted it to be as bad as it can be, but that's not the way our system works. The system says you bent the knee, you admitted you did it. We're going to give you a chance to make this right, especially if you have children, you have a family. We're going to give you a chance to make this right. We don't want to make it a habit to lock people up and take them away from their children if we think that maybe they can
turn
make
it
good.
around.
So Nick now has a golden opportunity. He's been given a gift. He's been given the gift of a second chance at life. And if he shows humility and he admits he had a problem and he abstains from all these things, it's all going to go away. This big mistake that he made, and it was a huge mistake, and it really did. It destroyed lives and it damaged lives. And you made this, Aaron. You made this big mistake, and they're giving you a chance to make it better. So you don't let your ego get in the way. You don't, you don't try and big time it away. You learn what it is. You learn from your mistakes. And if you're truly repentant and you truly follow what they say, everything gets wiped clean. You get a second chance at building a real life. And that's the gift that you've been given by the government. So I know a lot of people are mad. I know a lot of people are happy. I know, no one's really happy. A lot of people are mad for different reasons. But I will say this. I think it's a fair deal. I think it's the deal you get in Minnesota when you get busted with a bunch of cocaine for the first time. They say, hey, you know what?
Fair deal, Wade.
You admitted you did it. You admitted you're guilty of the things we're accusing you of. But we want to see you get better. We want to see you live a clean life. We want to see you get on the straight and narrow. And to entice you to do that, we will pretend this never happened after a few years. Now, if you fuck up, you're going to jail. I mean, that's heavy.
Right.
That's some
and
heavy
he's
stuff.
he's looking at some big time if he F's up. Like he's got to again, pardon the pun, keep his nose clean, and
literally and figuratively. Yeah, because this third degree felony comes with a maximum of 20 years and a $250,000 fine. So they'll give him a prison sentence. They will stay the adjudication of that prison sentence, and they'll say, keep clean for this long. And if you can do it, we'll wipe it clean. Isn't that kind of a system you can be proud of?
Right, because you've turned your life around. I like the idea of where if you effed up, but you admit it, or at least at the very least, attempt to improve yourself, that, not all wrongs last forever. There's a scale to it. The question is, and I certainly hope for everybody involved that the best possible outcome happens for them, but that's the question. Does he keep his nose clean? Does he get through that? Right.
Well, and there's a lot of people in the chat going, nope, he's not going to. He'll screw it up in a week, blah, 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 blah. I do worry that he listens to the internet too much. Like, he responds to people. He doesn't get out of the internet and just go live his life. That's
touch a plant.
That's going to be essential to staying on the straight and narrow, is not letting these people get your goat going. We'll see. I mean, that's where we're at now. He gets a second chance at life. This is huge. It's the ultimate we'll see. And then I guess in April we will know how long he has to stay on the straight and narrow. And honestly, if it's like 3 to 5 years, then stay straight forever.
Right?
You're
Once
good.
You've done it that long, why break the streak?
Yeah. And then the charges against April got dropped, which that doesn't surprise me just because those were so flimsy to begin with. Not only that, I can kind of say some of this, my police interview. When I had to go interview, people are like, you volunteered to go in and you ratted. No. There was not a guarantee that I didn't leave that room under arrest that day. They didn't know that I'd been gone. Because you remember the pastor and all these people included my name in all of this stuff. Like these Imholtz are here and they're sketchy and this and that. When I went into interview, they did tell me, they go, whether or not we refile charges on April will be completely up to her. And I'm like, oh, okay. And notice once she gave proof that she was there, they filed the charges again. So now I'm sure all they had to do was tell Nick, is she out of the picture? Is she gone? And when he said, yep, she's gone, they said, all right, we'll drop the charges on her. Fair enough. And then all the charges except for his got dropped. And honestly, they're probably happy with that. They're like, look, if one guy's going to take responsibility for the whole thing, we don't need to drag a bunch more people into this. So
I will say this, one thing I've heard over the weekend is people saying that that's kind of like, at least he's like, well, at least Nick's fallen on his sword for his ladies, and like he's like taking that bullet. and I don't know anything about the situation to know what it is, but at the very least, if he's willing to, bear the responsibility of the situation, maybe things have changed and he himself is in a different... Maybe this is the sign of a leaf turning and somebody's better stride is upon them.
Like I said, save the internet bravado because nobody in real life is going to care. Everyone thinks you're foolish when you do that, and that's going to cause you more head hitting and more drug abuse, and it's going to put you on the wrong path. Stay straight. Be better. Acknowledge that you fucked up. Clean up your act, and it'll all be a bad memory in a couple of years. That's it.